The Sexualization of Women Then and Now in a Musical Context by Ariana Glazer. So long as there has been man and woman, there has been sexualization between the two. Most notably, the earliest historical dominance which established male superiority has led to women being categorized into a specific sexual box that fosters submissiveness. Even now, as women have earned the long bargained for right to vote and mostly equal wages, these undertones continue to prevail, particularly in music. Rap culture may be partially to blame for this. Two 2018 chart toppers prioritize the objectification of women in a sexual context while furthering the idea that women exist to please, not be pleased. But rap and hip-hop music alone cannot bear all the blame. Country music, though often thought to be far lighter than other genres, has had its share of questionable content that reinforces the aforementioned stereotypes. Why don't we get drunk and screw? A study conducted by two coders who analyzed the top 50 Billboard country arrangements from 1900 to 2014 showed that whenever country songs reference women, they are more often than not synonymously aligned with sex and alcohol. This way of thinking enables the idea that women are present in the male gaze only for a good time. A good time for the men, at least. Not once do any of these songs establish the credibility of acting for the women. Likewise, by synonymously combining women with sexual activity and alcohol, it's implied that this is all they're good for. Think of the last time you heard a song, especially from this time period, that detailed how joyful a man is when he's simply able to get his partner to smile. None are coming to my mind. Furthermore, crude imagery of women in the music industry has become mainstream. More often than not, these images are produced without consent from the affected, and little to no legal action is able to be taken. Modern-day paparazzi are infamous for shooting cameras up female celebrities' skirts, a fate that found Emma Watson the very day she turned 18. Similarly, a 2004 Pepsi commercial featured global pop sensations, Beyoncé, Britney Spears, and Pink, respectively, transforming a tale of captivity to cultivation. As the commercial comes to an end, the stars bare their midriffs with the caption, "Dare for more," which critics argued implied that wearing less made women become, well, more. Meredith Lavandy, for her journalistic entry, Women, Pop Music, and Pornography, puts it best. Feminism has been hijacked, and its hijackers use female pop stars to sell behaviors and attitudes about sexuality itself. A notable recent example of this phenomenon was the inciting incident that would lead to Taylor Swift's smash hit comeback album Reputation. Famous, a concept music video by Kanye West, featured lifelike clones of celebrities such as Rihanna and Taylor Swift. The latter was explicitly mentioned in the song.
I feel like me and Taylor might still have sex. Why? One more time.
Why then, when Taylor Swift fought back, was she villainized? Why then was her reaction considered so overwhelming that she was forced to go into hiding for a year? The answer is fairly simple. The music industry has far too long adapted a new protocol similar to the age-old adage of women should be seen and not heard. Instead, women should be sexualized and silenced. Now, a new era has dawned. Women are embracing their sexuality, showing they too deserve to be pleased. Sabrina Carpenter has recently skyrocketed to fame for her cheeky humor and playful innuendos. Her most recent album, Short and Sweet, topped the charts, swept Grammy nominations, and was the forefront for 30 sold-out arena shows across the US. The album featured tracks such as Bedchem, which explicitly details the chemistry Carpenter and a supposed lover mesh through under the sheets. Juno, a particularly trending track, notates the depth of a woman's role in her own sexual experience. The theme of the album centers around the following lyric.
If you love me right, then who knows? I might let you make me Juno.
The reference is, of course, to the 2007 rom-com film about teen pregnancy, but that's not what's important. The vital underlying message dictates that she holds the power as to whether she'll allow this new entity into her life, that he will have to provide for her if he hopes for her to provide for him. Sabrina Carpenter, of course, wasn't the first to take feminine sexuality into her own compositional hands. Donna Summer's Love to Love You Baby was branded graphic by music critics upon its 1975 release. As orgasmic sounds are typically defined either hardcore or softcore in visual pornography, Love to Love You Baby was recognized as softcore, though this redefinition did little to help its case. Its leniency to softer oral communications, or moans, made it difficult to discern how many orgasms Summer simulated during the 16-minute piece, but the number is presumed to be more than 20. Critics argued that the song itself was pornographic, though Summer later denied all rumors that the sounds she made were performed in a true sexual context. Summer didn't even picture herself as the performer of interest while recording the track. Instead, she performed as what many presumed to be the sexual allure of the century, particularly to men of the time, Marilyn Monroe. And then in what was considered to be so controversial for its depiction of a woman experiencing sexual pleasure, the track did not display the importance of the female orgasm for the woman in question herself, which was likely what it fought so hard to achieve. It was instead a reenactment of what Summer discerned sexual pleasure must feel like to a woman so deeply desired by the men she perhaps unintentionally entertained. But then, even the idea of a woman fantasizing about deriving pleasure rather than simply providing it was far too controversial for the listeners of the time. Now, Sabrina Carpenter has faced similar immense backlash for seemingly over-sexualizing herself and her music. Particularly because she was once a Disney Channel star, parents have criticized her sexual choreography and even more sexual lyricism. It's important to note, however, how these comments never seem to find their ways into the social medias of male stars. Note Ross Lynch. He too was a Disney star, and for far longer than Sabrina Carpenter. A quick scroll through his social media will find dozens upon dozens of pictures bearing his bare chest, aligned with music just as provocative as the oh-so-controversial workings of Sabrina Carpenter. Why, then, is he in the clear? Well, because it all goes back to the dominant or submissive roles that had been defined so long ago. Men asserted their dominance in past times. It is only natural that their masculinity be promoted throughout their music. Now that women have begun to assert their own role in sexuality, the public is uncomfortable. But feminine sexuality isn't going anywhere, and likely that discomfort isn't either. Perhaps it will all come down to pushing through that discomfort and foraging for a future where women are no longer misinterpreted as what the male gaze supposes they ought to represent.